All right, everybody. Welcome on back to the Rhodes Show Conference Championship Collision. I'm your host, Big Brain Benny, and as always, I'm joined by Guy. Last week went 2-3, but Mike Evans' anytime touchdown was absolute cash. Cash out to the bank. Feel good about that. Feel good about rolling into this week. Guy, how we feeling?
Feeling all right. Had an okay week last week. It's tough to pick games. It's getting tough to pick games as you get down the playoff stretch. That's what the playoffs are all about. The sandwich play, unfortunately, didn't hit. It was still alive till the end of the first half, and then the Ravens just poured it on in the second. Still fun, though. Green Bay ended up covering. Always good. Mike Evans, we were just all over him. I mean, that was just –
Easy.
the whole show was all over Mike Evans, and future Hall of Famer, got it done for the boys. I'm feeling good about this week. I'm excited for these games. We got a lot to talk about.
We got two great games coming up, but we have our special guest contest coming to an end with a chance for a trip to the Super Bowl on the line. Last week, 2 eliminations happened, and this week we're brought to you by the first guest we got. He went 10-4, astounding 14 plays, killed it in the first game. That locked him into round number 2. We got none other than Marccy Stats.
I love it. Thanks for that intro. 10-4 speaks for itself. Great 71% winning percentage if you're keeping track at home. We did get robbed, though, a little bit last week. This could have easily been a 12-2 week. David Montgomery not getting a touchdown when the Lions had the ball at the 1-yard line. Didn't run it with him 3 straight times, but Craig Reynolds got the touchdown. That is
Craig
insane.
Reynolds.
Should have been a win there. And if the Bucs would have got that 2-point conversion, we would have got the Bucs spread. I mean, geez, that would have been a 12-2 week. But we hit the beat the book with Kittle anytime touchdown. Like you guys were saying, we were all over Evans, but I was also all over Kittle, which cashed us home. So I'm excited. Same game parlay hit, Guy, and I'm coming back for another one. It's a little tease to show that for the future there.
Excited for that.
I love it.
Excited for that.
Our next special guest coming into conference championship week. Who would have had this guy coming to the end? But he shows why. All you got to do is get in the dance, and he's kicked ass since he got in the dance, going 4-2 last week. Welcome on back to the show, the Mute.
Yep, thanks for that intro. I'm like the 7 seed that's just happy to be here. We're not really sure how we got here, but the kid's riding hot right now. I apologize to all the fans about the beat the book. I never thought the Houston Texans would not score 1 offensive touchdown. They kind of got blown out there, never really stood a chance. That Ravens defense is tough. Just happy to be here. Feel bad that Mr. Prop couldn't make it. He had other obligations that couldn't join the call. Oh, wait. Better luck next year, Mr. Prop. Keep talking that smack. I'll be here. I'll be here.
I'll tell you what, I got a nice stat for Mr. Prop. How about this? The true underdog story of the Mute. Not counting his prop bets, just straight pick and plays. He is 9-1. 9-1 in his last 10 plays. I mean, the Mute is hot right now. Can he continue?
We'll see if that continues. And the only one was the Cowboys pick, and that was my pick where I said, I'm not thinking about it, take the Cowboys. That's on me. So, I mean, if we thought 2 seconds about that game, we could be 10-0 in our spreads and over-under totals.
We got a lot of confidence riding into conference championship week, and I couldn't expect more. Let's get on to the first game, our first game of the day, 3 o'clock kickoff. Here's our records. Forgot to mention, last week, the Marccy Stats going 10-4, pushing himself to 15-7 overall. The Mute 4-2, 8-4 overall. Eliminated guest, Mr. Prop, as mentioned. See you next year, Jason Public. He pushed it to the end, almost had it, but the Bills folded yet again. Jason Public, see you next year. And Subway Mac plus Money Porter and Bean, I expect you to be tuning in again from the couches last week. Coming into the first game, 3 o'clock kickoff, we got the Kansas City Chiefs plus 3.5 going to M&T Bank and the Baltimore Ravens. Over under 44.5. Guy, kick us off.
Well, this is the game that I think everyone is going to be locked into over the night game. The night game is pretty good. We'll get to that. But the Chiefs and the Ravens is going to be a bloodbath. Lamar Jackson versus Patrick Mahomes. Can't think of two more exciting quarterbacks to watch in the NFL right now. Josh Allen, he's fun, but to his credit, he's just doing it all by himself. Not sure if he can ever get to the Super Bowl with the Bills just because they just keep shooting themselves in the foot. But you also got to ask yourself, the guy he keeps running into, Patrick Mahomes, is just in the playoffs. Just absolutely nailed. The best quarterback I've ever seen. I've been lucky to see Tom Brady growing up watching him, but Mahomes is he's just incredible. And we get to hear Tony Romo really let us know how good he is every single week. We're going to get him again this week. Two very explosive offenses in this game. Both put up big points all year. Ravens defense is really good. That's going to be a great matchup against the Chiefs. We're going to see how Mahomes handles that pressure. This is the first AFC Championship game hosted in Baltimore in their history. So this place is going to be lit on fire. Two explosive offenses. You would think the over here, give me the under, 44.5. 27% of tickets are on the under, but 50% of the money there. Professional bettors have already bet this game down by to 45.5. This is just going to be a great game. I don't know. I see this game. Everybody thinks these offenses are good. The weather's fine. It's going to be actually pretty nice out this way this week. This can be a little bit of a defensive struggle, I think. I don't think either quarterbacks make mistakes. I think they come out, play a little bit conservative, feel each other out the first half. We get some points in the second half, but it's not going to put us over 44.5. Give me 44.5 under.
Marccy Stats, I know you got something for this game.
Oh yeah, I do. Just a little bit. Well, to go off the guy and just to get this out of the way, since we are total opposites here, but there is a little correlation play because I'm going to take the Chiefs team total over 20.5, but then also the game over a 44.5. The Chiefs have been moving the ball well, but they're just struggling in the red zone. So I really do think that they can get 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals. I mean, Mahomes, like I was saying, he's a stud, one of the best, quarterbacks we've ever seen, even, seeing Brady and Manning and all of them. But they're moving the ball. It's just the red zone that's killing them. So I do think they find a way to get it in. I think Andy Reid's going to learn to not give me Cole Hardman carries on the goal line. Probably the stupidest play of all time. But yeah, just give me the over. The Ravens last 5 at home, averaging 49 points total. And the lowest in that of those 5 was 44, which would have been right here. So give me the Chiefs team total over 20.5, the over 44.5. Give me Isaiah Pacheco over 64.5 rushing yards. He's hit this in 6 of his last 8 games, and he has 76 rushing yards in 4 of his 5 playoff games. So there's 3. Also, give me Lamar Jackson over 63.5 rushing yards. Josh Allen just ran for 70+ on this Chiefs defense. Lamar literally had 100 last week. They're not going to win. They're not going to win this game without Lamar putting up some monster numbers both through the air and on the ground. He's going to need to extend drives. They want Mahomes off the field. Lamar's legs are going to have to be a big part. And then I'm going to also take an under prop here. Rashee Rice under 6.5 receptions. Baltimore has only allowed 6 wide receivers all year to get 7 receptions in a game. None since week 14. So Rashee Rice he could easily still have like 5 for 75 and a touchdown and still have a big game. I think Kelsey's going to be the one that gets absolutely hummed with receptions. Give me Rice under 6.5. And then the guy, my same game parlay for this one is Chiefs plus 7.5 and the over 39.5. Right now gets you plus 106 odds on DraftKings. And I will have a beat the book pick from this game later as well.
Big brain.
Yeah.
Add Marccy Stats' same game parlay to my card.
I'm adding it right now.
Lock. Those are my locks. These same game parlays have been
money. I'm also putting the same game parlay on my card as well. But before we get into that, the mute, what do you got for this game?
Yeah, love the thought process from Marccy Stats there. What was the total? What was the total number of plays on that one? How many did we get in there?
Well, we got 6.
6 total plays. All right, I'm gonna take that number and subtract 5 from it. I only have 1. We're gonna do law of averages here. I love the thought process of trying to get to the Super Bowl, thinking you're going to play as many plays as you can, and some of them are bound to hit. It's just natural that it's going to happen. I'll take a 50-50 shot here. Both these defenses are really good. The Ravens defense especially is really good. Everyone in America knows the correct play here if you're looking at the points. But do you know who's smarter than everyone in America?
Who's that?
Las Vegas is so much smarter than everyone in America. I look at this line. You have to be crazy to not take the Chiefs plus 3.5. And being crazy has what gotten me here in this position. Give me the Ravens minus 3.5 at home in the AFC Championship. Ravens going to the Super Bowl. That's all I got for this one. Ravens minus 3.5.
Wow, the mute tries to man in the suit himself to go to the Super Bowl. Interesting play there from the mute, but call me crazy, but I absolutely am not taking the Kansas City Chiefs plus 3.5. Patrick Mahomes is an underdog. This is only going to come by maybe a few more times in the next 15 years. So you take this plus 3.5, you ride with it. I'm hammering the same game parlay as well. And the tease might beat the book. It's also coming from this game. That's all I got, though. Kansas City Chiefs plus 3.5. I'm probably going to sprinkle the money line, too. But you can't not take Patrick Mahomes as an underdog when he gives you the opportunity. On to our nightcap game, the NFC Championship. I'll start us off here. We got the Detroit Lions plus 7 headed to San Francisco in probably better weather. Over-under is 51. Detroit Lions. Wow, oh, wow. Have they surprised everyone? They have exceeded their expectations on the year. Dan Campbell, coach of the year, leader of men. He's kind of what other teams are going to try to replicate. Just a man, a leader as a coach. And I don't know if it's going to work as well as it does with Dan Campbell. 49ers, they looked like shit for 3.5 quarters of that game against the Packers. They kind of got lucky to win that game. Brock Purdy showed up when they needed him to. This weather, I don't expect it to be raining at all. I expect it to be good weather on Sunday night. Detroit can't stop the run at all. Rashad White, he's been terrible as of late, and he was having a great day on the ground last week. Christian McCaffrey is going to go nuts. Detroit, they have been shredding teams. San Francisco's defense is not as good as it seems. Their rush defense isn't that good. Montgomery, he's due to get pay dirt. Give me this over 51. I think it hits. I think this game's going to be awesome. 51. I don't love that. I don't love that line, but that's my favorite play from this game is over 51. The mute, what do you got here?
Sometimes your heart, you just have to bet with your heart instead of your brain. I don't think the Lions can win this game. I hope I'm wrong in saying that. I don't think I can do, but my heart really, really wants them to win. I think this is going to be a phenomenal game. I think the Lions going to come out swinging. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to have a phenomenal game. They're going to do some weird stuff with him, some funky stuff with him in the backfield, catching passes, doing all that stuff. Is Debo playing?
As of lately, I've seen he's still questionable.
50-50.
50-50. Okay. That doesn't change my pick. Again, I'm fine with taking the dumb plays here. I'm going out swinging. Like I said earlier, I'm a 7 seed that's just happy to be here. Give me the Lions plus 7 just because I really, really, really want it to happen. It's not the smart play. It's what I want. Give me the Lions.
I like it. Sometimes betting with your heart is the right decision. Guy, what do you got here?
I love the heart play. I love Dan Campbell. I love Jared Goff. I love everything that the Lions stand for. But I'll tell you what they don't stand for is red zone efficiency. And I'm talking defensive red zone efficiency. The 49ers have scored 45 red zone touchdowns this season. Lions have let up 35 red zone touchdowns just in the last 10 games of the year. It's not going to happen. Super Bowl. It sucks for America that we're going to get robbed of the Detroit Lions going to the Super Bowl. I'm going to take San Francisco -7. I think this game is going to be a lot closer. I hope this pick loses. The 49ers are scoring 28.9 points per game. The tough stat here is the Lions defense kind of stinks. And it's not that the Niners defense is all that great, but they can show up. They got athletes all over the field. I just think that the emotional play that the Lions have here is really their only advantage. But this is the 49ers' year. If the 49ers somehow lose this game, I know Vegas wants them to lose this game bad just because of all the future tickets that have to be riding on the 49ers. But unfortunately for Vegas, sometimes they're just losers. They're just losers, like all those special guests that we just listed off that aren't here right now. Just losers. We love them. We love the Lions. We love the special guests. Yeah. But this is just the 49ers. Like, I think that the 49ers slaughter the Detroit Lions on Sunday. I'm going to take the Niners -7. I hope this pick loses. I really hope this pick loses.
Stats, finish us out here.
All right, well, let's start and tell the guy because I am also taking the Niners -7 because the reason being is the mute kind of talked to himself in the previous game about listening to Vegas and then turned around and took a heart game this week. Listen to Vegas. The money and everything's coming in on the Lions because they're America's team. Everyone wants to see the Lions in the Super Bowl. With Debo being 50-50, I'm still shocked that this line is a full touchdown. Like, are the Niners really a full touchdown better than the Lions without Debo? Like that, he's a big part of their team. I think that's telling a lot. Also, the Lions since week 7 have only played 2 outdoor games. Everything else has been in a dome. Week 7 was at Baltimore when they lost 38-6. And then in week 14, so they haven't played outside since week 14. That was when they lost at the Bears 28-13. So they would have not covered the spread in either of those games. Give me the Niners to kick us off -7. And then I'm also going to take some props here. I got a slew of picks for this game as well. Gibbs over 75.5 rushing plus receiving yards. This is what we took last week with Aaron Jones. Was an easy cash against this same Niners team. Gibbs is way more dynamic than Montgomery. They have to feed him if they want any shot. So give me his over 75.5 rushing plus receiving. Also, Gibbs is averaging 80 on the road this year total. Give me also then a little correlation play with this because this is also a spite play because he screwed me last week. Give me David Montgomery under 43.5 rushing yards. He's a grinder. He doesn't have the breakaway, where he's not that elusiveness of Gibbs. He's more just ground and pound, maybe rush 8 times for 33 yards and 2 touchdowns. And then I'm going to move on to Christian McCaffrey over 38.5 receiving yards. The line's kind of high for a running back, but with Debo being 50-50, I really think if Debo plays, he's obviously not going to be close to 100%. Yes, he's going to get the shots and the medication to probably feel no pain in that shoulder, but he's one helmet, one hard hit away from being knocked out of this game. McCaffrey had 12 targets last week, so he's going to be getting home no matter what. It's do or die. It's the NFC Championship. You have maximum 2 games left. Ride your best players. And the Lions are actually giving up the fewest rushing yards to running backs, but they're vulnerable at the linebacker position and coverage. So give me McCaffrey there. And then give me back to the beat the book last week, but we're just going to make it a regular play this week. George Kittle touchdown. He has a touchdown in 4 of his last 6 home games and 6 total in 8 games at home this year. So give me his anytime touchdown. I do have a beat the book to a pick from this game as well. So 2 total. Looking forward to giving those out here shortly.
Well, let's lock and load. Those are a slew of picks there. 2 under props from Marccy Stats. I can't help but I'm tempted to just throw those on my card as well. but we'll digress.
Hey, big games. The defenses are gonna, step up.
I'm with you.
The stats back it up. Yeah, it's not like I'm gonna come out here with not having stats to back it up.
I do. You are Marccy Stats, and I do love the Montgomery spike play. You know what? Add to my card. I'm adding Montgomery spike play to my card. I can't not. I love a good spike play.
Love it.
Let's move on.
Sorry, big brain. As much
Go
as
ahead. Go ahead.
I think that's a good call. I think they saved Gibbs all year for something like this. I think they're gonna really ride him. Maybe Montgomery like for short yardage stuff, but I think Gibbs they kept his legs fresh all year for this. He has those rookie legs. As much as I hate to say it, those are good picks.
Montgomery, the spike pick, I love it. Like he may go 8 for 30, which is going to be great, and 2 touchdowns, which is going to be awesome. But whatever, it'll hit. But let's move on to beat the book. The mute. We'll start with you. The second to last beat the book of the year, conference championship. Beat the book. What do you got?
All right, Marccy Stats. I'm going to kind of put you on the spot here because I got a question for you.
Oh God, I'm ready.
All right, so I'm looking at a line. I'm looking at a certain team's team total over.
Okay.
At one line, they're all 0.5s. At one line is minus 122. If I add a point to it, it's plus 105. Is minus 122, is that too shady of me to do? Or do you want to meet in the middle and then there's a possibility of a push?
No, you could do the minus 122.
You're cool with that?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. So besides when they played the Steelers, so taking out the 2 Steelers games, the Ravens have scored 24 or more points in 13 out of the 16 games they have played so far this year. 13 out of 16, they've scored at least 24 or more. So at over 23.5, give me the Ravens over 23.5 team total points at minus 122. Not the best odds, but that means you have to hammer it if you're trying to make some money off of this. So I love that. And again, that's besides our Steelers, who just the steel curtain just has Lamar's number, but the Chiefs are not going to have Lamar's number this week. Give me the Ravens over 23.5 team total.
The mute with 2 team total overs in a row for his beat the book. And you know what? He's due. I'll get this straight up out of the way. Isaiah Pacheco, anytime touchdown. I love it. Hit for me last week, and I love it again this week. This guy runs the ball hard. He runs the ball. Running back should run the ball. Head in the ground. Runs people over. He's due. He's going to score. My second one, it's pretty greasy. It's very greasy. And it's in the night game. And I said this game was going to be electric. It was going to be high scoring. A lot of things were going to happen. And that means both these quarterbacks are going to throw an interception. Brock Purdy, Jared Goff to throw an interception. DraftKings, I believe it's at like plus 230. I couldn't love that play more. Isaiah Pacheco anytime. Brock Purdy, Jared Goff to throw a pick. Those are my beat the books, and I couldn't love them more. Marccy Stats, why don't you go?
So it's interesting because the Mute's trying to thread the needle there with taking beat the book team total over, but being on the game under. So trying to thread the needle there. So could work out or could backfire.
I'm not on the under. I'm on the Ravens.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. You did give the Ravens. You gave.
You're good.
But Ben, it's funny that you went with Pacheco anytime touchdown because unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, this could be great because this could just be a hammer play for all of us. I have Pacheco anytime touchdown as my play from the Chiefs. Yes. Let me give you some stats now to back it up why this is now becoming a huge hammer play from the show. 13 personnel, right?
Oh, yeah.
3 tight ends. Well, when the Chiefs run from that formation, they're averaging 5.5 yards per carry. Pacheco has 7 touchdowns in his last 6 games. And then Andy Reid. Don't give the ball to frickin' Hardman on the goal line. We already talked about this. Why are you not just lining it up, even if it's out of that stupid wildcat where Mahomes runs behind and they act like they're going to run a trick play? Just snap it to Pacheco and have him go. He's going to score from inside the 5-yard line. Run it 4 times with him. You don't need to get fancy. Handing it off to Hardman. Pacheco, anytime touchdown, beat the book. That's a hammer since we're both on that. And then I got one more from the late game. We're just going to go back to Kittle. His receiving yards right now is actually under 60. The line is 59.5. That's crazy to me, especially with Debo being questionable 50-50. Like we talked about the Debo injury. I don't understand how this line is so low. He's had 76 yards in 5 straight home games, and you're hanging a line for him to only get 60. Sign me up. Kittle over 59.5 receiving yards, beat the book for the Niners game.
I love it. Guy, what do you got?
I'll wrap us up here. I had to save. I have 2 beat the book plays. I had to save my best play of the day for the beat the book. It is conference championship weekend. I would have loved to get this right off my chest, right off the bat. This is the freest money. Vegas, I have no idea how they keep giving this free money out. My first beat the book play of the week. Mr. Prop is also definitely on this. Haven't talked to him. Chiefs money line plus 160. Everyone's tired of the Chiefs. It seems like, except Guy and Mr. Prop. I don't mind the Chiefs at all. They're a fun team to watch. Patrick Mahomes is greatness. The lines for the Super Bowl actually have come out. Every single line available except the Chiefs, because the Vegas knows that they are not giving the Chiefs out plus money again when they get there. They don't even want to tease it yet. They don't even want to tease it yet. So just give me the Chiefs plus 160. Now I also have a road show first here. I have a road show first. And this is guys, quick cash beat the book play of the week. Everyone just came out of the Ravens Chiefs game up. Guy won every single bet that he placed. Marccy Stats, same game parlay, easy money. You're like, I'd love to just start hammering prop bets from my couch. How do I just get some quick money to have this? This is easy, folks. Easy. First Lions drive result, punt plus 110. That's my second beat the book play of the week. The punt play. First drive result for the Lions, punt plus 110. You have some money in the bank. You can either save that to put it all on the Chiefs for the Super Bowl, or you can just hold it in your account. Maybe take a nice lady out on a date the next week if you're feeling like it. So give me that. I'm also going to put a Super Bowl future on the Chiefs at plus 380, not beat the book, but at plus 380, also free money. Chiefs are winning the Super Bowl this year. It's happening again, folks. We're going to have the same conversation next year on the show. The mute is still going to be bitching and moaning about the Chiefs, and I love it. So that's my beat the book. Ready for the Super Bowl. It's going to be an electric show. Pulling out all the stops for that show. I might have 100 plays.
Can I say something about the punt play? Because I absolutely love that play. That is insane. And I think we need that as the punt play to take a lady on a nice date play.
Yeah, that's take a lady on a
phenomenal
date
play. Just a phenomenal play.
That's a winner. You're going to freaking a nice Italian place or a steakhouse drinking some wine after you put everything on the punt play.
And you can go 5 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
Yep. Just
you've got
collect
to
your money and go.
One drive.
Yeah, you can go immediately.
Guy comes with the sandwich play last week, the punt play to take your lady out to a nice steak dinner play the next week. I can't wait for the Super Bowl. I'm probably going to have at least 100 plays as well. But it wouldn't be remissive if I didn't mention this. Dag Show, shout out to YouTube for emailing me this plaque. 25 subscribers. I appreciate every single one of you. On to the next 25. Let's win some money this week. Undefeated. Good luck to Marccy Stats and the Mute for a chance for a trip to Vegas and the Super Bowl. Take it easy, everybody.